Listen, man, Atlanta is a soccer city. I don't know how to explain it.
It's a soccer city. It's a soccer town, but we're just scratching the surface.
It has a different feel, it has a different sound, it has a different culture to it, and it's uniquely Atlantan.
I think Atlanta's gonna, shock a lot of people with how awesome it is.
But just watching soccer in Georgia change in general, it's kind of been amazing to see so many people get involved.
I mean, that's what's so beautiful about it, is that no matter where you come from, soccer and football are kind of a common ground.
Especially right now, at a time when we're being divided or disconnected, the sport is a great tool for connection.
I'm no longer surprised. Oh, soccer is coming to America. No, man. Soccer has become a way of life.
Yeah, the soccer bug is coming and I'm here for it.
It's a phoenix. We lose or we get beat, we're going to rise from the ashes. It represents the city of Atlanta.
And I know Atlanta is going to put on a show.
You know, everyone loves the game, and it's just bringing everyone together, and that's what the World Cup's going to do.
But I see a lot of opportunity for this community to kind of show that, hey, there's been a thriving soccer community here for a long time, and some people probably didn't realize it.
And hopefully this is the moment and we begin to be taken seriously as a serious soccer country, footballing nation.
Everybody's playing soccer now, and it's growing a lot. I love to see it.
It's mind-boggling, the growth of the game in this sport. I think that's why what you're doing is so incredibly important, because the growth has been so fast that we literally bypassed 3, 4, 5 chapters in terms of how this thing gets put together. And so there's a whole new generation of young people that are falling in love with the game, that need to look back at the history and understand the roots and the foundation of the sport in this country. And we don't have that. There's a gap.
Welcome to Atlanta, a city with soul, with style, and a passion for the beautiful game that is hard to match in the United States. In what most people would identify with hip-hop music, and rightly so, with soul food, with American football, but soccer, the other football, it is alive and well in the Peach State. There are thousands of people playing, coaching, making moves in the game that are proving the claims that Atlanta is a soccer city, perhaps the most passionate soccer city in the country, and that next summer for the World Cup, Atlanta is going to show the world just how true that is. So we're going to cover everything from grassroots soccer here to college to professional and everything in between. You're going to learn about the history of this game in the area going back all the way to the first decade of the 1900s. But I'm telling you, this game runs deep, and we're going to show you just that in this episode of Because Football's road trip to the World Cup series. Take me roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. What's up, everybody? Andrew, Because Football. We are back. Last few minutes in the great state of Pennsylvania, then we'll go into Virginia, down to Tennessee and Chattanooga, all the way to Atlanta, Georgia. What a trip it's been. And I guess 4 days ago I got back from the last part of the New England trip. So basically within a week's time, I've gone from Maine, the northernmost state on the East Coast, all the way down to Florida, covering this wild, wacky, wonderful country through this lens of soccer. But very excited. I've never been to Chattanooga, I've never been to Atlanta, never been anywhere around there. Appreciate you guys rocking along with us. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. This is one of my favorites as a kid, so it's an honor to be here at the Davy Crockett Travel Center. Quite well stocked too, everything from slingshots to bumper stickers to all kinds of truck equipment, everything you need. All right, just got here to Silverbacks Park. If not the heart, one of the main arteries, pumping the blood with the passion of Atlanta. This is crazy. Not only crazy because you got to pay $3 to get in here to park, which is absurd to me. That's not cool. Raise your league fees a little bit, but parking, come on, that's whack. But look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 full fields, I think. And then this one, they got them playing too.
La pelota termina.
Yeah.
What do you think is, hey, how
What
are
are we
you?
filming?
Top secret interview.
Yeah, I'm on
Yeah, they were
it.
just, you want to be in it? Hey. We'll let you warm up and then we'll work into it. What makes Silverbacks Park like the center of soccer in Atlanta in the evenings?
Well, probably the bar. For starters. Yeah, that's nice. I think it's just, you know, a place that a lot of people have played forever. Like, we've been a team for about 8 years. For a long time, it was because this was like the place to play. I think in Atlanta, what's cool is that, I mean, we are just like such a multi-sport city, but soccer has just like kind of always been in our DNA. I mean, you look way back, even here at Silverbacks, this, you know, used to be a pro team 100%. Out of Silverbacks, and it's a really fun place to be competitive because I think people don't think of Atlanta as like an active city, but here we just like to be really social when we're active, and soccer presents a way to do both. So,
100%.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Andrew.
I'll let you get out there. I'm going to watch you guys for a little bit.
Oh, boy.
Does that work? No pressure.
That's fine.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, get some highlight reel takes.
What do you got? You have a text?
No, I got you. Hold on. You ready?
Yeah. All right, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Oh, double. What's up with paying $3 at the entrance, man? What's up with that?
It's been different.
I've never seen that anywhere.
Me too. I never seen that anywhere.
It's first. So I was telling them like I'm from Philadelphia, but I have a YouTube channel about football called Because Football. So I've been like going around meeting people, but everybody I talk to is like, you should come to Silverbacks Park. It's called Because Football.
Because Football?
Yeah, YouTube and Instagram the same. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we got Cote d'Ivoire, Mali.
Yeah.
What's so special about soccer here at Silverbacks Park?
Like, I've played sometime in Brooklyn, New York. I also played in Texas, Houston.
Okay.
But like here is the most fun that I've ever had. Because of Silverback, I don't even want to move out.
Yeah.
Because this is where I get my joy and I release stress.
So you have like 8 or 10 games happening at one time. It's great. Like, you feel the energy here.
Actually, that's why I'm staying here. Because I've been in the US like only for 9 months.
Okay. Welcome.
But I finally chose Atlanta because of Silverback.
Okay.
It's part of my routine. I come here on Tuesdays, Thursdays as well, and sometimes Wednesday, you know.
Yeah,
it's fun.
awesome. Yeah.
Honestly, it's a vibe. Like, everybody can come here after work. It's really great competition. They got the bar over here. They got co-ed. Honestly, all age groups. It's a great place to be.
I heard for the co-ed league, if you win, you get like a buy one, get one drink ticket or something. Is that true?
Very true. Hey, see, people, they love their beer.
Shout out for everybody here with the people of Philadelphia. Let's go.
It's our lucky day. Not only have I been kicking it with the whole co-ed squads here at Silverbacks Park, but you hear the music. La fiesta llega. Liga Guatemalan is in the house. Liga Cajola. It's the finals tonight, so it's legit. We got the real finals for the Guatemalan League here, Silverbacks Park, and it's one of many that I heard is legitimate, not only legitimate talent, but there's money in these leagues. Mucha plata, mucha dinero in these leagues around Atlanta. Guys are playing for more than just pride and the love of the game, although we got that too, but you know, it's a nice way to make an extra little buck. Now I heard, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I heard that these leagues, it's more than just pride that people are playing for out there.
Man.
I heard it's amateur, but there might be a little bit of cash flying around here. Is that true from what you hear?
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're not, well, okay, I'm not gonna say that. You always play for the love of the game.
Yeah.
But hey, that's just nice.
Yeah, it helps. It helps. Yeah.
You'd play your USL game, get your $100. Play your Hispanic League game, get $100. But then there were guys younger than me. They told me a few years later they were getting a lot more money, $400 a game, things like that. I go, oh, that's my retirement, you know.
Oh, a shot right off the bat. Let's go. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to show with the music copyright, but we'll see.
Los rojos en la área chica. Ahí está la pelota peligrosa. No, ahí está señores, por el zurdo. Se encara el zurdo, a ver si pone el centro.
Oh, acrobatic save from El Gato. The keeper is the cat. Great save.
Ahí se prepara el campo, ya fue invertido. Ahí está el zurdo, a ver qué hace. No puede caso, desde el otro lado y la pelota esta.
That didn't go to plan.
Tiro libre muy peligroso, ahí puede meter el primero. El equipo Pérez buscando.
What a goal. Oh my God, that was wet. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
¡Qué golazo marcó el equipo Pérez! Ahí, señores, ahí está el zurdo. ¡Gol, señores!
2-0.
¡Qué golazo!
Another
¡Qué
banger.
golazo!
¿Y qué representan el fútbol por la comunidad guatemalteca acá en Atlanta?
Es mucho, es mucho. Estoy mal 10 años, 15 años atrás, no se veía esto, no existía esto. Gracias pues a Dios y a la gente, ¿no? que ha abierto las puertas. Muchos de nosotros que nunca jugamos una cancha así en nuestros países, en México, en Guatemala,
Sí.
o sea, no tenemos algo así. Y acá pues tenemos el privilegio de disfrutar de esto, ¿no?
2-1. 2-1. But it looks like we got a bad injury here.
Desde un gran final, estamos jugando el Silverbacks. Esta para cualquiera. Ahí viene, señores, el tiro de esquina. Se encara, puede ser. Ahí está, otra vez de rebate. La pelota.
Wow, they're getting close. Fans are up off their feet, all 9 of them. This is awesome. Cool thing here is you got everybody at the bar here at Willie B's drinking, watching the games. Then you got people in the stands watching too. So it's all this like overflow from the adult leagues. There's a good crowd of people watching, getting some excitement. The music obviously is incredible. Got the commentary, the DJs. Equalizer and another similar collision between the goalkeeper and the goal scorer. And they're bringing the magic water out. This is wild. Both goals for Huitan, their goal scorers gotten into a collision with the keeper, gotten injured, and all they do is bring a bottle of water out and they pour it on the afflicted area and it brings them back. You know, physiotherapy is a sham. All you need is a bottle of Dasani and you pour it on the affected area and we're good to go. 2-2. All the ingredients for absolute chaos. And it's coming. Direct to penalties now. Vamos a ver a quién a levantar el trofeo. Who's going to lift the trophy? We got everybody gathering around now.
Ya pitó el árbitro. Ahí está, chuta.
Our boy Terry, not his night.
El gol del jugador de Huitan, ahí está. Lo chuta.
Great save.
Señores, los ganadores. Ahí viene el zurdo. Ahí se prepara el zurdo, señores. Pon una pausa, mira, observa. El árbitro ya dio indicaciones. Ahí está, se prepara. ¡Gol! Objetivo. Así que disfrútenlo. Una, dos, tres. ¡Felicidades al Deportivo Huitan!
Es una final muy bonita, mucha intensidad. Yo pienso que los dos merecían el campeonato, pero bueno. Y eso es lo bonito de eso. Y hoy en día, pues no, el fútbol acá ha crecido. Va a ser un impacto grande porque se siente la pasión por el fútbol. Cuando el mundial venga, la gente venga a visitar, van a ver la pasión, ¿no? La entrega que hay en esta ciudad. Sí, ojalá que Guatemala pase.
Sí, sí, exacto. Timo,
Sí.
muchas gracias,
Okay.
bro.
Gracias.
All right.
Okay.
Vamos a la liga.
Vamos. Cajola, sí.
Okay, Cajola.
Nos
Okay,
vemos.
muchas gracias, bro. Thank you, man.
It's my first time in the city, so I needed a tour guide. Meet my friend Simone, a native and massive cheerleader of the Atlanta area, who I hadn't seen in 8 years since we backpacked and motorbiked around Southeast Asia while working as English teachers in Bangkok. And she offered a local's view of the city, as well as her ideas on what Atlanta will show the world during the tournament.
It's just gonna put Atlanta back on the map again, if that makes sense. Like, we were on the map for the Olympics, and obviously we're on the map for hip hop culture and the tech scene and Coca-Cola, Chick-fil-A, Delta, all those things. But I think like Atlanta's grown so much over the past like 10 years. We have the Beltline, which is a project where they pretty much build like a walking space and a sidewalk where all the old train tracks are. And so it makes Atlanta super walkable. I think people are gonna see some really good culture. We're known for our clubs, our strip clubs. Just like the scene is really cool here. We have an art scene, we have music, we have an EDM. I think people are gonna see like different cultures and how they kind of come together and live in the South. And then food, there's great food. You've got Southern food, soul food. We've got barbecue, obviously tons of chicken spots.
We're getting wings tonight, right?
Yeah, we're getting wings tonight. Lemon pepper, that's like our main flavor. We got lemon pepper hot, honey lemon pepper wet. And then Atlanta's green, right? And Atlanta's a city in a forest. It's a very lush city. We have a crazy biodiversity of trees, not to be like,
no, do it. Lean in, lean into that for
but
sure.
I mean, it's a beautiful city, and it's like really nice to kind of just explore.
You know, I talk to kids today, they think soccer didn't exist, you know, before like 2010 almost here. And I'm going, no, there was some great stuff here in the 70s and 60s. People would be surprised.
It's crazy because if you read, you know, 10 years ago, history of soccer in Atlanta, pretty much everybody said that it started with the Atlanta Chiefs in 1967. There was so much going on before that. Now, it was stops and starts and, you know, small and here and there, but it was happening. And I had no idea. It was something Patrick Sullivan, who's a great historian here in Atlanta, he really dug into like that era of it. Finding things like the Lithonia teams to the east side that came over from working in granite. And granite is a big industry here in Georgia. So they come over from Scotland, and crazy thing about history is it always kind of connects. You know, it's crazy that a lot of Aberdeen folks came here to work in granite and probably brought soccer with them at that time. And then Atlanta United actually partners with Aberdeen 100 years later. It's crazy how these things work. This is where games happened. This was the hub for soccer in the 1910s, 1920s, kind of up until really late 20s is when it started to fizzle out. You had a lot of expats. You had a lot of them go back and fight in World War I. And then in the 20s, it came back again in a big way, but it just couldn't quite build the foundation to stick around. But this is where a lot of those efforts really circled around.
You have this sliding doors moment where you could have had college soccer be such a big deal in the Southeast because you had Auburn's college football coach who was all about his players playing soccer in their off season for fitness reasons. You had a lot of coverage of the local scene in the 1910s and 1920s, but it all really dried up around 28, 29. The soccer references I see in that gap between Emory starting and the 1920s, it'd be one-off things, it'd be events, it wouldn't be leagues and teams. You had these little bubbles going on in the Southeast. New Orleans had a pretty thriving like internal league. I want to say Birmingham did, part of the steel industry. Emory was the first to really do a full varsity program, 1958. So that's another one that kind of predates the Chiefs. Oglethorpe was a few years later. So they play every year, and it's the oldest soccer rivalry in Georgia.
It's true that Atlanta's soccer scene had its comings and going, and its first legitimate presence came courtesy of the Chiefs, who played for 5 seasons in the NASL, or North American Soccer League, the first league to capture the imagination of the mainstream public. The league relied on a mixture of young American talent and aging legends like Pelé, Beckenbauer, Eusebio, George Best, and Johan Cruyff. In 1968, the Chiefs made history by becoming the first ever champions of the league, beating the San Diego Toros 3-0 in front of 15,000 fans at Atlanta Stadium.
I think when the Chiefs started, there were about 200 people playing soccer on a regular basis in 1967. 5 or 6 high schools that had teams.
Okay. Seemed like the Chiefs were important for Atlanta because they were like pretty much the first really successful sports team that Atlanta had.
You had pro sports start in Atlanta in 1966. The city's always had a real understanding of how to move forward through business. Coca-Cola, Ted Turner, Arthur Blank. So they went out and they wooed the Braves. They went out and wooed the NFL and AFL at that time and got the Falcons. soccer came along with it to fill dates at the stadium. Because you had baseball and then you had football, and it's like, okay, well, we have these other dates. We need to make more money. Cool, let's start soccer. And the Braves invested in it, and they stayed invested in it longer than anybody in that original group outside of Lamar Hunt, who kept it going well into the early 80s and then came back. They put so much into the youth game and tried to grow it. High schools, you had 5 or 6 when they started. You had 100 by the time they ended. Playing.
Sure,
so
the impact.
And yeah, the Chiefs were the first one to be good, to the point that baseball fans, because baseball was more established, were like, well, why are you spending this money on soccer?
But the Chiefs, just by being around, I mean, not only were they successful, they won a title. They had some big time players come through. Man City, they beat. Man City was fresh off a first division title in England. Yep,
they wanted to come back for a rematch and beat them again.
Yeah.
I mean, talking to Dick Cecil, who helped start the Atlanta Chiefs back in the day, you know, they didn't have what New York teams or Chicago teams had, where they could tap into ethnic communities. Atlanta didn't have that. So you had to literally like go sign players who could speak English and go out into the schools and go out into parks and rec departments. They did 10,000 camps and clinics, and they worked with anybody who would have them. And all of those seeds got planted, like adult leagues that are still going on today, youth leagues that are still going on today. They had to go and be real organic with how it grew.
Are you from here originally?
Originally, I'm from South Africa.
Like a rival team in South Africa?
Kaizer Chiefs.
Okay. So
yes.
Kaizer Chiefs was called the Chiefs because of the Atlanta Chiefs. There was the NASL. So there was a South African guy, Kaizer Moteng. There's 2 or 3 other like South African, Zimbabwean guys who played and like tore it up. And so then Kaizer Moteng went back to South Africa and started Kaizer Chiefs. So
thank you for that. See,
yeah, man.
I knew I love the team, but wow, because I knew there was a Chiefs here, but I just couldn't even. Now I'm like, okay, so it makes sense to why I kind of landed over here. Nice. Okay,
sure,
thank you, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely.
Man. That was like
for sure, bro.
You just blew my mind right now.
They were really smart to hire Phil Woosnam to come over and educate a college-educated player, which was rare in England at that time. Came over to be a player coach and really like pushed him to grow the game. Journalists here in Atlanta said that he sold the game better than anybody because he would take time for every single one of them, explain everything, go out and then do a camp and clinic, and then go and practice and then have his team ready to play. He worked tirelessly to the point that then he saved the league as a whole out of the basement of Atlanta Stadium with 5 teams to keep the NASL going, and then became the commissioner and left Atlanta, but his impact was huge.
There's no denying the impact that the Chiefs made way back when, but it was time to fast forward to the present. Check out an organization doing incredible work with the youth of the city through the beautiful game.
And this is Soccer in the Streets and their Station Soccer project. So I'm very excited to show you guys what I think is one of the most exciting things happening in this city that hopefully can get spread and replicated around the country and around the world. There's a perfect blend of the need and the passion for soccer and the role it can play in giving kids an opportunity and bringing adults together to find leagues, and combining that practically with public transportation, literal access. We talk about access a lot of times in terms of money and finance and investment, but as you can hear above me, literal access. The pitches are right next to the station. I love it. Let's go.
We're here.
Cool. Wow. Oh, and the garden. Okay.
So I can kind of walk you through.
Yeah. Hey, how are you, man?
Sanjay.
Sanjay. Andrew, great to meet you. Pleasure.
How are you? Welcome.
Good, man. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to be here because I was just telling Catalina, this is like, other than Atlanta United, was probably the first time Atlanta and soccer ever was on my radar, was hearing about the Station Soccer and what you guys were doing. And it was like things I've been thinking in my head, like, hey, this would be pretty awesome. And it was like, oh, Atlanta's doing it. So I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here.
Yeah. The garden is just the next level because I love a garden as well. Footy and gardening, two of my biggest passions. So it's like crazy. Anytime there's something, exactly, anytime we can integrate, and this for a planter, this is great. No soccer in the garden though. We want to protect the plants.
2010, I joined Soccer in the Streets as a volunteer. I was invited to join the board of Soccer in the Streets. And that's where we really learned that things like Soccer in the Streets was being charged to use public school transportation, and that was very expensive. We were already beating the affordability hurdle because we were providing free programs.
Okay.
And so that's when I started thinking about, wow, we have to pay all this money for transportation. So I said to Marta, what about us potentially using spaces like this at stations to build fields like this? And that's how the genesis of the idea came about.
What's it like, and especially with speaking to people who might want to do something like this in their community, what does it take to actually turn this from vision to reality?
It really takes a lot of people working together with one passion, one mission, and motivation. If you think about all of our partners, whether it's the transit agency, whether it's Atlanta United, whether it's other brands that were involved, one of the things I noticed that helped us so much was within those organizations. There was often people that just were so passionate about the power of sport and social impact. And so that's what it really took, is passionate people within organizations working together to make this happen.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very historic legacy neighborhood where there's a really great African American population, and more often than not, there was not programs like this available in spaces and in communities that are accessible. And so for Soccer in the Streets to be able to be here and provide access and connectivity, it means a lot. And the fact that it happens to be at a transit station as well.
Yeah, it's huge. Do you think this is a model that other cities and other places can replicate?
If you have a motivated community and partners, so public-private collaboration, more often than not it will work. It just takes everyone to come together for the common good, and in this case it's children of the community. That usually bodes well. We're really pushing on what's happening around the world with the beautiful game, in that really you only need a ball to connect 11 people on a soccer field with the opposite 11. And it's known as a common language in other places because it brings so many diversified people together. And again, it's the power of that sport to connect people, especially right now at a time when we're being divided or disconnected. The sport is a great tool for connection.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for being here. We hope you're enjoying this Atlanta episode, and we've got so many more amazing stories here for you, so make sure you stick around. We're doing this all over the country in all 16 host cities, but we can't do it alone. If you want to support, please consider contributing. You can scan the QR code on the screen or find the link in the description for our Buy Me a Coffee link, or just like, subscribe, or leave a comment. Anything helps. Thanks for being on the road with us. Let's get back to Atlanta.
So we talked about 1906.
Yeah.
Atlanta, was it Atlanta Football Soccer Club or Atlanta Soccer Football? Like they have both in there,
I think it was Soccer Football Club, and then they dropped one. I think it was just Atlanta Football Club at one point.
Wasn't the first intercity
matches to Chattanooga.
That was the whole Southeast, recorded.
Believe so, as far as I know, yeah. I think they won in Chattanooga.
As much as the focus of the World Cup will be on Atlanta itself, it's important to note that the city is just going to serve as the soccer capital of the whole region of the southeastern United States. And in order to tap into more of that regional story, I decided to take a trip a little bit north to Chattanooga, where soccer is playing a central role in its community. My friend Peter Woolcock served as local tour guide, originally from the UK and currently living with his family in Thailand, where they document their own travel adventures on their YouTube channel, and where coincidentally we also had our own footy road trip. Pete moved to Chattanooga near the inception of the club and helped develop their foundation, using soccer to connect kids in local schools. His infectious love of the club and praise for the city's footy culture convinced me that the scenic city had to be a stop on our Atlanta road trip. Not only being a tour guide and showing me all the spots, he introduced me to everybody I need to know in Chattanooga's footy scene, including the mayor.
I mean, the first time I really got the inspiration to run for mayor was seeing that in the stands at the club, because it's a really weird yin-yang thing, right? It's about soccer, but it's really not about soccer. It's really about community. And soccer is just the thread that connects all those fans and all that culture together. Well, it was a group of guys from Chattanooga, all of whom love soccer, and kind of came together, 5, 6 of us, and said, hey, let's do this. Well, in the very beginning, the guy that was running the stadium thought it was a joke. I mean, they were letting us use the stadium for $500 a game because he didn't think anybody would show up to watch soccer. And when people began to show up, you know, they were kind of amazed. And lo and behold, people came out of the woodwork. I mean, soccer culture here is real, and it has been for a long time. It's just had ebbs and flows. And obviously, the league situation in the United States is so screwed up that we've had to kind of surf the system rather than just deal with sort of an orthodox, you know, system of promotion and relegation, which we wish we had.
Here we are, Finley Stadium in Chattanooga, Tennessee. You didn't know the footy fever, the soccer insanity has reached American football territory in the Southeast United States. Soccer is alive here. We're gonna show you guys today at Chattanooga FC, welcoming Toronto FC 2 from Canada. It's not gonna be a warm welcome. Boys are here to play today. Let's go.
Legit, yes, Anthony.
The first time I got press conference in Albania last year, and they made me change pennies because it was not official at all. Great stuff. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man, of course. Thanks a lot, Anthony. Good to see you, buddy.
Cool. Here we go, into Finley Stadium.
Just seeing the team play and also seeing how many people show up and what their enthusiasm is. There's some regulars.
And we love the city and we love soccer, so it's just a great thing for us to come and do as a family.
Yeah, at the first game, I was down there with these people, they're calling themselves the Chatahooligans. You know, they welcomed me with open arms, all strangers to me, and I've never looked back. It's always been a cool thing to do, but what really kept me coming back was the community.
But soccer's big with the kids and like in the high schools and woven into Chattanooga for sure.
I really enjoy the area and the atmosphere, the culture of the club. Like the city here is just one happy family of loving the game and wanting to grow it from the academy and up.
Like even we were just walking around the other day and
I had
some CFC stuff on and you know random people were just
let's go CFC. We're like let's go.
Okay, oh, you've been a ball boy before. Very cool. So what do you have to do for that?
You have to get the ball, like if they take it from the corner, you have to get that old ball that they kicked out.
So that's pretty important because if you don't get the ball, they don't have one to play with.
Yeah.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming.
Thank you, man. The keeper's at midfield. Madness.
What happened?
The keeper was at like almost midfield. Ooh, we're pressing. Almost a bicycle kick, and now another close change. 34 minutes to get the pressure on. People are responding. The crowd is responding here. Come on, here we go. Yeah, let's go. Goal! All right. I gotta get over there. Nice meeting. I got to roll. Here we go. Oh, we got the bubble machine. I don't know the significance of the hard hats, but they're pretty cool. Kids are loving it. We got a group of these guys, like these 9-year-old boys are loving this, being on the field. All that spotlight just going to their head. CFC concedes, unfortunately, in the 49th minute. Not so good. So Something I really love about being here at Findlay, other than crouching behind the advertising boards like a hidden assassin, is over my shoulder up there in that corner, like there, is like they set up a little soccer field too. And there's kids playing like all game. It reminds me a little bit of like in Argentina where the kids played like just in the Popular, like the Ultras area, but like on the flat space and just have a ball in the stadium, which I think is amazing. And we talk about how to like keep the game alive and growing, like kids are just playing. It's not that important that they're not watching a ton of the game now, but they're just around it. And then, you know, when they get a little older, they pay a little more attention and get a little bit more plugged in, but just like that they're enjoying it and literally playing at the games. I know for me as a kid, I would have been like pretending to be some of these guys who are my idols or whatever it is. So I really love that about the stadium here at Findlay. Ooh, we've got a nice counter. Come on. Good ball. Oh, great save. Well done.
We thank you for your support of Chattanooga FC and growing the world's game.
The Bubble Master, the final step, not spilling a drop, right?
Oh, I spill a lot. We started out with like one of those little, then I'm like, what the hell? Let's get full bubbles.
Let's go industrial with this.
Yeah, get the good ones. It's just, the kids love it, so that's all I worry about.
Oh, she left it.
She left it, yes.
But I'm scared it's gonna melt in the bathroom.
I didn't think of that. It might, yeah.
This is where you guys rehearse too?
Yeah. We're quite a choir.
Oh yeah, whoa. So
we actually live in here.
Okay.
Like we stay here in between games.
Literally stored in the stalls.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Hey, I mean, it's ingenuity, right?
How do we feel about having one of the few proper rivalries, derbies in the country? How do we feel about that?
They don't exist as far as we're concerned.
Community is a word that has come up a lot in this chapter about CFC, but there's a member of the local footy scene we've neglected thus far, the Chattanooga Red Wolves of USL League One. That's right, little old Chattanooga has 2 professional clubs, and as much as CFC fans resent it, their rivalry might be the most important thing the city offers the broader American soccer context.
I mean, it's just better off that way.
What was that Open Cup game like though?
Oh, God. It was wonderful. 13,000 people. I mean, I've never seen a more crowded game in my life. Yeah. The section will tell you, I almost started crying. I was just blown away by the sport.
It's drama.
Yeah, we were discussing.
Okay.
We were kind of discussing that today. The difference between.
It should be Chattanooga Football Club. Totally, no more. Only this. It's just political and yucky and drama. And let's see it.
Playing in 2 different leagues, the Open Cup is the only opportunity for these clubs to face. But the derby, made spicier by the fact that some core CFC staff left the club to start the Red Wolves, is promising because it's one of the very few crosstown clashes we have in the United States. And as much as their coexistence makes financial survival for each club more challenging, if this rivalry can sustain itself, it's a sign that American footy can graduate to a new level, proven in little old Chattanooga, Tennessee. No matter what Don Garber says. On my way back from Chattanooga, I tracked down another story, a town known as the carpet capital of the world that's been making its own name in the Southeast soccer scene.
We're in Dalton, Georgia, and my name is Francisco Rodriguez. I go by Kiko.
I mean, some of my favorite memories was playing with the Dalton High School. We were able to go 23-0 and win a state championship, so that was a great memory.
Yeah, we've had a lot of success here at Dalton High School. We've won 7 state championships, 23 region championships. Many players go play at college. The Gatorade National Soccer Player of the Year, that was Omar Hernandez.
Football, a little bit, double the soccer.
Yeah,
that's a Georgia thing, huh?
Well, it's culture. The Friday night tailgate culture, it's something to see.
In many ways, the soccer culture we see around the world, when you want to talk about that level of being ingrained in community ingrained in daily life, especially in this part of the country. It's football that represents and gives that example, you know. But you've seen that change a little bit. Obviously, that's changing demographics of the town and of the area, but kind of success, it seems like, has something to do with that too.
Yeah, the success has a lot to do with it. Watch that anthill. The community gets it. Like the tailgating for soccer now is happening, but maybe not like cooking out, but taco trucks, and that's almost become a competition at the different schools.
Okay.
Who's got the best taco truck at their game? But it's still fun to see, because I mean it shows you how much soccer has grown. And for me in the 30 years, so it's grown so much, and that's something I wanted to see happen. Yeah, when I came here, they didn't want us playing out here on the stadium. And then, you know, we started to grow, we started to win, we started to draw a gate, make some good money, and then we got to the point where they wanted us to play here. We get a pretty big crowd. We do fill up.
You said the student section can get rowdy.
They're known as the Harmon Field Hooligans, and they get pretty rowdy. They have a good time. It's become a source of pride in our community. Dalton, Georgia is proud of their ability to compete. So it doesn't matter if we're playing checkers. I mean, people in Dalton want us to win.
All right, I just left Harmon Field with Coach Cheeves, and he said come out check this mural out over by the Oakwood Cafe. Catherine Evans Whitner. So this woman here, we've got the drawing of, I think it was called the tufting technique. That I don't think she invented it, but she kind of made it very popular for showing bedspreads. This is in the later 1800s, the early 19th century. And during the Great Depression, Dalton, as a town, was able to sustain itself and get cash for selling these bedspreads with this tufting technique. And then over the years, this area became more of a carpet flooring center. So as you drive along 75 here, all along the sides of the highway are different carpet and flooring factories, and that's what brought these Latino communities from Mexico, from Central America, to Dalton.
I mean, I feel like that's what brought everybody, my family, you know, that's what, there's a lot of jobs here, and that's what everybody came to work, and just soccer started growing little by little.
Well, when I first moved here, I was still young enough to go out and play. I would be playing with my students' fathers and uncles sometimes, and I think that gave them a little trust in me. They saw I was willing to come out and participate in their culture, gave them much more confidence to come out and join the high school soccer team. Yeah, they've brought the skill level up tremendously. I mean, tremendous doesn't really describe it enough. They're magicians with a soccer ball at their feet.
The success of Dalton High School is undisputed. The facts state that. But I wanted to know why and how they had become such a powerhouse.
Definitely the recreation department. They have some cages there. That's where everybody grows up playing, just for 6-7 hours there, just spend all day playing. That's where we got our chemistry, and that's the place to be at for sure.
I mean, the way that everybody comes together at the recreational department, I mean, a lot of teams at a very young age start playing, and those rivalries grow. Not only Dalton High School, but the surrounding high schools compete, and they won their state titles. And I mean, I think that's what's made this county and I mean the state grow as a whole.
They were saying how important the recreation center, the recreation fields are here in Dalton. So let's see where the real grassroots of footy, the cauldron that forges the talent here in North Georgia, the rec center. Let's check it out. But what do you think is the reason there's such a strong football culture around this area?
I think honestly, I think the kids just grow up around it, and they enjoy it too. They love what they're doing. They don't even think that they're actually practicing. They show up and they just get the ball and they just start doing their own. So they just show up and just play.
Cool. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Manny. All right. Have a good session, man. Yeah, enjoy. What I love about the story of soccer here in Dalton is what has happened in this community. It mirrors the classic story, not even mirrors, like it is the classic story of soccer in the United States that we've seen just happen at different time periods. In the late 1800s, it was British. In places like the Midwest, you had Germans, you had Polish, and around Philadelphia, some of the people we talked to, the Ukrainians, same with the Portuguese communities that we've featured in New England as well. It's this American story of bringing a love for the game into an area and really making it their own and making it vibrant and relevant and meaningful for people. And then, yeah, that leads to success, that leads to larger adoption around the community. But that's what I really love about what's happening here. And it's not just a thing of the past, it's happening in the present, and now like
Coach Cheeves is experiencing at the high school and around this area. Sons of his players are playing for him now. So some of his first wave of players, that first generation, now their kids are playing here and they're really putting their mark on soccer in this area. And that's what's going to take in the United States. Patience with the generations, and as it all comes together, I don't really know how to fully and succinctly define what soccer is in the United States and what exactly it looks like. I just know that it looks like a lot of different things depending on where you are, and there's nowhere in the world that has such a diverse range of soccer attitudes, styles, tastes like the United States does. And that's something that I think a lot of people overlook around the world, and the World Cup 2026, the Women's World Cup coming up, is only going to enhance that.
In this episode, we've met with coaches, club directors, players of all levels, but we know that this game is nothing without the fans. And fans need a place to gather, to come together to celebrate the game they love. And that's why we've loved exploring soccer bars in each episode of this series. And Atlanta has one of the country's best. The Brewhouse Cafe, our official soccer bar of Atlanta, has been the beating heart of the city's soccer culture since 1997. Locally owned and independently operated, Brewhouse has been a community hub where fans of all teams express their passion together. When I was in Atlanta, I stopped by, and I was amazed by the floor-to-ceiling scarves, the jerseys, the flags. The place just reeks of the beautiful game. Voted as America's best soccer bar by Men in Blazers in 2024, Brewhouse will be the place to be during the World Cup next summer. And in the meantime, if you need breakfast during an early morning Premier League kickoff, or a place to catch Atlanta United away games, there's no better place to enjoy the beautiful game with fellow fans than on their patio or in front of one of 27 TVs. Tap into the tradition of soccer, spirits, and great food. We'll see you guys at Brewhouse.
Yeah, I remember them from the Woosa days.
Yes, and they were a really successful franchise.
And even before that, we had the Atlanta Beat and WUSA, and you've got all these like key national team legends who are from Atlanta, and Michelle Akers, Kelly O'Hara, Emily Sonnet.
I mean, everybody was so excited. We were all so excited. We took our team up to the games, but I think with the Beat, it was just so far away, and I think that was, kind of made it harder. So that was super disappointing when it didn't make it. Super disappointing.
Yeah, the women's game is growing just more and more.
And I mean, look at it. How women's soccer is growing tremendously now. I think for me, that's going to be the next big thing is women's soccer.
It's drawing those numbers and it's getting those eyes on women playing soccer and women in sports, which has been incredible.
The Women's World Cup is coming to the U.S. in 2031. So what amazing opportunities do we have between the Men's World Cup coming this next year and then the Women's in 2031 in the U.S.?
Despite unprecedented success on a global stage, women's professional soccer in the US has had its ups and downs. Fortunately, that seems to be changing with the growth of NWSL and the Super League. Underpinning that strength on an international stage has always been college soccer. But the college game is more than just a pro pathway. It offers student athletes a comprehensive experience that sets them up for lifelong success. I visited Emory University's women's soccer program to get more of that story.
I love that people are still playing just for the love of the game here. You're playing because you want to win, you're playing to play with your friends, you're playing to learn and to grow. The overall concept of Emory specifically, but D3 as well, is that there's just so many opportunities here, and it's a really special place. So I first met Sue back in the day when she was the U21 national team coach. So Sue took over practice for one day. It was Sue decided that we were just going to do fitness the whole time. So Sue scared me when I first met her, but 20 years later, I guess, I reached out to Sue and I was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I'd love to come volunteer coach at Emory. And Sue's like, yes, absolutely. And now here we are. I got to be assistant coach, and she's a mentor and a friend, and consider her part of my family because my kids think she's Aunt Sue, so it's awesome. I just have been incredibly fortunate through my career. And it's interesting too because Anson Dorrance was the guy to know, but he put my name out there. I was coaching with the U16 national team as a head coach, and I was in Japan and heard about this position being open from Jill Ellis. She was like, hey, Emory University is open. Applied for the position and been here ever since, and it has just been an amazing journey. Yeah, I think when I first came, I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest with you.
But at the time, our sons were 5 and 7, so young. We had 5 o'clock practice. They had to come to practice with me. So, to have the environment where I could be a mom and a coach and work with these amazing young women who were all about, look, I love to be on the field and competing and growing as a person and a player, and then to get to know the university as the university and what all it has to offer, and then having, the opportunities to meet professors who will come to our games. When we went to the Final Four, we had like 8 or 10 alumni that were there that flew to Las Vegas and supported us.
We're two of the most competitive people that you will ever meet. Don't talk to me if I lose, and I don't talk to her if we lose, so it's good. But at the same time, we also understand that family is the most important. We'll be here for you, that kind of thing. And we also know how important school is. We want you to challenge yourself on the field, but also challenge yourself in school. We're going to push you there. We want to create that for them and show them that we love them.
So Emory is incredibly strong in the sciences, in business. Those are probably the top 2 for the majority of students on campus, and definitely within our program. We had no idea what the season was going to bring, like literally no idea. We always have an expectation to win, but kind of like, okay, what your season could really look like just kept opening up, and we're just like, okay, I'm changing the bar. Okay, I'm changing the bar. All right. And so it just was unfolding in this really natural way that, it was, don't screw it up. Keep the vibe going. Have fun, have fun, have fun. One of the things I think that led to our success, hands down. And people talk again about the buzzword of culture. These guys were amazing. We were ready to go. Some games just don't go your way. Our players played as hard as they could. We were incredibly proud of our players. Of course, everyone's very disappointed at that point, but very motivated. It was a great motivation as well, because there was, to a player, there wasn't one of them that didn't come in after the season. We were like, we got to get back there. We got to get back there. Our statement right back to them is, it's one thing to say we got to get back there. It's a whole nother thing to get back there, because we all know that everything has to fall into place, and you have to create your own luck. That's soccer.
What was that like with Atlanta United coming onto the scene? For me, even watching from Philadelphia, I was like, yo, something's happening. Yeah. What is in the water?
So when I first got to Atlanta, nobody was wearing a soccer jersey. And Atlanta United came, and there are flags outside people's houses. There are jerseys everywhere. When you're out to dinner, it's an Atlanta United game.
Atlanta United here is like religion.
It's almost a way of life here now. It's a real soccer experience.
Like literally once they were here, you could find soccer everywhere in Georgia.
The music industry, they want to be there. They want to be seen at these games.
Yeah, Atlanta United is what makes this city tick, the soccer world tick around here.
When Atlanta United was in the MLS Cup run, that was as big of a deal as the Braves being in a World Series run and the Falcons going to a Super Bowl. It was right there with it.
These kids that are now being born here in Atlanta, they're being born into a soccer country. When they go to an Atlanta United game, in their mind, that thing has always been there.
Not only was it just boom, pretty much immediately selling out 60,000, 70,000 people, but it was like, wait, soccer's like cool in Atlanta? What do you think was the reason for that? That's huge.
It's the investment.
You have an owner in Arthur Blank that is committed professionally to make an investment.
With the resource, with the total commitment to the game of soccer, is taking the city by storm.
And when Arthur makes it very clear that I'm not doing this to where soccer is here and my Falcons are here, it was soccer's here, Falcons are here. It's just part of the fabric of Atlanta now.
I think the city is really excited about Atlanta United. With the team winning and the cheers becoming popular and the jerseys being cute and just all the things, I've really noticed, like, people are now asking me, hey Simone, when's the next Atlanta United game? Oh, what do you think of this jersey? What are the cheers? So I've seen it really pick up in popularity.
Let's go. What is one of the ATL cheers you're gonna give us?
We're gonna do the cheers at the stadium in real time, and Andy's gonna lead the wave.
Yes, I got
so
it.
Stay tuned for that.
I got it. Let's go.
You hear that? Well, it was Jason Longshore, our guy, talking to us, letting us know what's going on with the color commentary for the game. I've been told that
because it's been a rough. This is not the first. There's Jason. But yeah, so a lot of people told me don't expect too much. We're not going to have big crowds. It's League Cup for one, and they're statistically disqualified. And it's been a couple down years for Atlanta United, so don't have the same enthusiasm as they did when they burst on the scene. But we're still looking forward to it. I'm excited to check out the Bends, and we're inside. Let's go.
Take your selfie live.
I got you looking lit. Don't stop.
Although we didn't have a ton of fans in the stands today, this would be an unbelievable venue for the World Cup. I would love to be here, so you know I'm going to be hitting up my friend Simone for a spot at the crib. But of all things I'm experiencing in Atlanta, the potential here at the Ben Stadium really excites me.
Despite the low crowd numbers at the game I attended, Atlanta United has to be held up as one of the most culturally relevant, cool MLS franchises in the league. A lot of that has been due to the club's intention and investment, but if we've learned anything from this series, it's that nothing in American soccer happens in a bubble. After the NASL folded in 1973, Atlanta, like most of the country, entered another era of booms and busts. But just because the game wasn't visible or particularly viable financially doesn't mean Atlanta's footy scene completely disappeared. I spoke to some other pioneers of Atlanta soccer about those awkward yet extremely formative in-between times.
And I had left college without my degree. I had one semester to go. So I just drove up to this college the next day. I said, I heard you need a coach. I'll coach you, let me finish my degree. So I never set out to be a coach. And then I coached the team.
You showed up in person?
I put my suit on, literally typed up my resume, went up there and said, I need a degree. I know you need a coach. I'll coach the team. And I think they paid me $9,000 the first year. And they let me go to school for free. You know, I was fortunate enough that where I grew up at Cross Keys, there was really a culturally diverse environment for Atlanta. So I did have that at that little area, but I did move out to further in the suburbs. I went out to Stone Mountain High School, early Gwinnett, when soccer was just emerging there, which now it's been a hotbed. You know, and Josh Wilson come out of there, Walker Zimmerman, you know, these guys that come out of the area. So I've been through that change. But it used to crack me up. I said I played American football growing up. And I told my dad I was going to go play soccer in college, and he was upset with me. He says, you know, I should have never let you play that game, you know. But I do remember getting teased at school. I was always nicknamed Pele on the American football teams. I was the furthest thing from Pele, but in their eyes, that's all they knew. Some of those good old boys that I had coaching football. But they had built pretty quickly. They had an indoor soccer facility there that fostered a lot of talent. I think it was about 1985 that place opened. It was called the Soccer Academy, and indoor facility in Milburn. Some of the guys that played with Daddy Graphic would coach me. My brother, John Smith, who was the goalkeeper for Daddy Graphic, coach. They would come in and coach us as kids, and they did it because they loved it. There was no money, you know. So I felt very fortunate to have some of those sort of role models when I was young, and some of the people that have come through. You know, people forget that, like Bobby Moore played a little bit in North Carolina there. Yeah, so I actually played with the Magic, but I played with them before they were the Magic. We were called Quicksilver, actually, for a season. I think Steve Masello was in that team. Greg Blassingame, who runs Concord, he was on our team. Dave Smith, who runs NASA Top Hat, you know, so a lot of these guys end up becoming coaches. I was just happy with everything we got to do, you know. There were some of us that got some money. We would get about $100 a game, but you would go out afterwards with the guys, and you'd be $150 in the hole. But it was more about the experience.
And I would write about what was happening with the Atlanta Ruckus, the first pro team I ever knew.
And the team almost folded in '96. And I ended up basically doing everything from my apartment in Athens. Sponsorship deals. I did a website for the first time. I had a fax machine in my college apartment. Had to be one of the only ones to have that. Did everything from driving the van on road trips to basically game ops with a couple of high school kids helping out. I mean, it was totally insane, but we kept the team alive long enough for the Silverbacks to come in and buy it.
Even some of the guys that are big businessmen, the guy that opened up the Silverbacks later on and spent all the money to get that going and build the stadium. He was on an amateur team that my brother sponsored from my brother's bar, that he had a bar and he sponsored a team. And Boris was playing that team, Phil Hill was playing that team, and I was playing that team.
If you're paying attention, you're probably a bit confused. Well, you should be. Through the 70s, 80s, and 90s, Atlanta soccer was a revolving door of teams and leagues consistently struggling to keep their heads above water. It wasn't until the Silverbacks took over in 1998 that there was finally some continuity for soccer fans to depend on.
I was assistant coach with the Silverbacks a couple of times. I was head coach for 1 week. Who got fired? Somebody got fired. So I went from playing with them to be their head coach for a week.
Yep.
Yeah, you did well.
The funny thing is the first 2 weeks, I threw 3 guys on the team. The guy that was the poster child, I threw him out real quick. I must have ended 3 practices because somebody got into a fight.
Yeah.
But after those first 3 weeks, we kicked those people off. In the next 4 years, we never had another fight.
So yeah, Nuno and I have a good history. We coached against each other in youth, but we also knew each other from the pro league. So yeah, so we have a pretty long history together.
If you've seen our New England documentary, you'll recognize Nuno. Born in Portugal, raised in New England, he moved to Atlanta in 1999 to coach the Silverbacks. Before that, he had been coach of the Charleston Battery, where he led the team to a national championship in 1996. He spoke with me about some of the behind-the-scenes realities of coaching and being a part of American professional soccer at that period in time.
I remember my GM telling me after the first season that one of our owners had to sell their Mercedes to meet payroll. And that was a reality check. I went, whoa, we're in trouble here. Vivid memories of driving to the stadium in prayer, not necessarily thinking about the game itself as a coach and prepping or whatever, but actually praying that we'd get 4,000 paid fans so that we could meet payroll.
When we played at the Atlanta Silverbacks time, not many people had grown up to play soccer, so they didn't really have a good relationship with the game.
We got a lot of TV games because we simply, when I was coaching, after we established it, they knew we were going to get goals. We sent so many numbers forward, so it was funny, but it worked.
We had a good fan base, John Latham, Boris Jakonica, great people for football. They invested in the game. They were passionate about it. And they wanted fans to enjoy the sport here in Atlanta.
2006, we moved to the stadium. That's when we opened the stadium, and we sold out every game. It's about 5,000. So it's not super crowded, but we had places spilling over, especially when we played international games. Because we played Independiente when I was there, Monterrey, played Pachuca, played Cruz Azul. And we actually gave them probably better games than some of the MLS teams were doing at the time, simply because I think we were hungry. 2008, we were making a great run, but that's when the economy started going bad. We were losing some sponsors, not because we weren't growing. It did break my heart because I felt like we were really heading in the right direction.
So 25 years ago, which really wasn't that long, and then to sit at the stadium here in Mercedes-Benz 17 years later with 73,000 people, it was emotional.
And for me, I believe that, there's a step for everything. Those guys paved the way. Arthur Blank is coming in, and it's kept on growing.
We're back at Silverbacks Park, not only home of an unreal amount of adult and youth leagues as we've seen, but also current home to Apotheos FC of USL 2.
I think, ironically, one of my first goals here, I scored and celebrated here, and I think my mom was right in one of these seats, and I just see her just like bawling her eyes out. And I was like, you honestly can't write stuff much better than that, because of course after the game she kind of looks at me and she's like, do you realize what we're kind of doing here? And she's like, it's a whole full circle moment.
The name is a Latin Greek from apotheosis, which means to kind of hit your divine peak of your craft. It applies to our values and applies to our players and our coaches, is to help
get them to their, peak of their craft, and their craft is football. I mean, Atlanta is now the epicenter of soccer here in the United States. I think there's definitely a place for Apotheos Football Club, for lower division, for that community-focused, kind of community-based, very hyper-local to this area. And there's a rich history of the Silverbacks. There are so many supporters, right, that were Atlanta Silverback diehard, right? Like, we still have the West Side 109s that are now here as Apotheos Football Club, kind of ultra supporter group, right? Like, they want to see that lower division, more community connected kind of soccer and club come back. So the mom and pop shops that are around, that are close to the club, I think are so vital for the sustainability of clubs at these divisions. You have to gain those supporters through those small businesses that are also supported by the same community. But they see a lot of value in terms of what soccer can do for their members, or for their patrons, or their employees.
We also speak to their sister club, Columbus United, located just a few hours southwest of Atlanta.
But we love this level of soccer. For whatever you do with the club, it goes right back into the community. I'm now the general manager for Columbus United. We just finished our second season. We're right off the Chattahoochee River in Columbus. We have a golden oar that we play for, and absolutely love everything we're doing in Columbus. We've just grown year after year. It is 100% the emotional side of it. This game, it's so much more than just 90 minutes on the field. Being able to see the passion that, staff, players, fans have, it's so much more than the game. I mean, with all of our teams, we have huge community impact programs. So we work with a lot of great nonprofits. Players will go out to the community. We'll do fundraising campaigns. So that's one side of everything. But the other is it's just a fun event. You don't have to love the game to enjoy one of our games. Your family can hang out. We have the kids zone. So it's great to be able to create an event outside of the game to where, your kids are entertained, they're safe, parents can enjoy a drink while watching the game, and people just start falling in love with the sport.
As much as we love and celebrate the hyper-local soccer stories here at Because Football, there's no denying that the largest leagues in the world have an important role in American soccer culture as well. Man United and Everton were in the ATL at the same time I was, so I had a chance to explore what makes Americans want to support a team thousands of miles away.
Seeing Manchester United play in the US is always a special feeling for those of us who don't get to see them all the time. So it's a big deal for us. It's been a really fun journey to see it grow. And I would tell anybody coming from Europe that we still have an incredible atmosphere. We don't have the history, but we still have the community, and we still have the passion and love for the game.
10 years ago was my first trip to America to see football and to see soccer, I guess. My impressions before I got here was they won't get it like us. And then I got here and it was just like being in the pub outside Old Trafford. There was nothing different apart from a little bit of the accent. We've traveled around America and traveled around the world following United, and I've seen Atlanta Red Devils and the fans that follow Manchester United in so many places. So it's been great to finally get out here. The fans over here are just unbelievable. Obviously, fans that go to every game and home and away are the lifeblood of any football club. They're the ones that are there every week keeping it going. But the fan bases that I come across, whether it's America, India, they're as addicted to this thing that, we call football or Manchester United. These guys are still there, whether it's 9 a.m. in the morning, whether it's 6 a.m. in the morning. They're still there supporting the club. And so I think these fans are so important for any club. And just to meet them, it shows you how fanatic they are.
Want to get some Evertonians on your video?
Exactly, we got to spread the love.
Yeah.
I've been an Evertonian for 50 years or more. So thank you. So I brought my daughters here to enjoy a victory over Manchester United. And my wife's a Man United fan. So we allowed her to come too. But then the Premier League has become huge in 25 years. Used to be you can catch the occasional game, and now you get all Premier League games all the time. Cheers. Thank you.
I don't know if Usher's from Atlanta, but I do have a confession, and that is first becoming a football fan, United was my club. And then I think my values within football changed, and that's why when my Port Vale story and connection came around, that was it for me. I know a lot of people say you can't change your club or whatever it is, but guess what? I didn't really change it. It's just kind of didn't really resonate, and something else that felt much more real to me came in. That does not downplay or take away what Yvette and fans like her experience in the US, and the fact that people are willing to take their time, effort, and energy to support a club. It is real. It is real passion, like Adam was saying. It's real in the United States. It's not going to be the same. It's newer. It doesn't have the tradition and the multi-generations. People coming from all over the country to experience this day.
But when it comes to the youth, in the grassroots, we need to keep encouraging those young people to enjoy the game and looking forward to come back every single day for more and grow to love the game.
The powers to be here in Atlanta see the potential of the game. I came here in '99. I spoke in front of what's called the Atlanta Sports Council. They looked at me literally like I was an alien. Like, what is soccer? What are you selling here? That was '99. And so 25 years later, they're knocking at our door. I've always looked at my own journey as a small part of the American kind of foundation in building this thing. For me, GSA has been my legacy in terms of connecting with the community and really trying to make a difference in young people's lives through soccer. We now have players that grew up together, getting married from, different ethnicity and having kids. GSA family 100%. We've been around since 1978. So there's a legacy in terms of being part of a community and serving that community that has history, that has a foundation. We place more players at Atlanta United Academy than anybody else. We've had 12, 13 players that have played in Major League Soccer. We've had Walker Zimmerman, that's been the captain of our national team, that's played in the World Cup. These are young men that we found at 9, 10 years old was playing baseball. The mom asked Campbell Chapman, you think he has ability? He's like, well, yeah, we think he has. I always try to explain to people when they come in, like, do you know anything about GSA? Do you know what the logo represents? It's a phoenix. And that represents the feeling of we lose or we get beat, we're going to rise from the ashes. And I always try to explain to them that it represents the city of Atlanta. And it's the spirit of the phoenix to rise above that, to rise from the ashes. So all these things are connected to life lessons.
I think it's blowing my mind when I'm thinking for such a short period of time, the growth of the youth clubs in the city. Because I remember in 2000, you go into a club and they said, okay, this is your team, go and train it. Nobody knows what you're doing, how you're doing it. And that's why I've been working with UFA, for that many years, because every single year we're trying to improve ourselves. We try to improve our programs. Coaches following the curriculum, methodology of style of play, coaches' behavior, how the parents are engaging with coaches, and everything is connected. We're trying to connect the families, the players, and the coaches to be a one big family, so the players can have the best experience, because ultimately it's about them. It's not about us anymore.
So Nuno said, he told me the Copa Latina story. He said you were working.
That was against, USA was playing, and I'm working the press box.
Security guard or something
Yeah,
like that.
the press box. But Nuno brought me here.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And here we are.
Yeah, and here we are.
Our time in Atlanta has been incredible. The people were lively, footy was entertaining, and the future is so bright. But simply put, I was blown away by the stories, the journeys of the people who are Atlanta soccer. Hearing about connections, first memories of the game, and moments of glory was honestly one of my favorite parts of the whole trip.
My soccer journey, it's very interesting. When I grow in Bulgaria, we always want to be the next star. We want to hear our name to be chanted by the fans. I was living next actually to the stadium, so every morning when I have breakfast, I was watching the first team training. I dream, I go in bed with that idea, I wake up with that idea that I have to reach every moment. I was breathing, eating soccer every single day. So it was an unbelievable experience. At that moment when I was playing in Espanyol, the first year, then they bring a couple of good players, which one of them was Mauricio Pochettino. They bring me, they bring Branko Brnovic, they get Jose Antonio Camacho as a coach. So we form a great, very competitive team, and immediately we bounce back into La Liga. At that moment, Hristo Stoichkov was playing on the other side in Barcelona. So we were teammates on the national team, but as well we were competitors at La Liga. And it was very good of him because he was calling me here and there. A couple of times we went, to have dinner. Then there was another offer, and one of the offers was from Argentina, from the NASL Boys Club. The fans, the players that you're playing with, the culture. You're going to play a game against Boca Juniors when it's being called the Dream Team, with Diego Maradona's playing, Claudio Caniggia, big name players that he's been playing, and obviously we won 1-0. It was crazy, like I was explaining. In Argentina, the stadiums, there is it's a big space between the actual stadium and the fans, and that empty space is filled with water. And the reason is just because they do not want any of the fans to jump on the field when the game is over. So the fans break one of the nets that was protecting the field, and they put like a bridge. So all the people start going on the field. So at one moment, as soon as the final whistle, I find myself surrounded by a bunch of NASL Boys fans that everybody wants a piece of you. So they start taking my jersey, my shorts, my shoes, socks, and even they take my bandages on my left and right ankle. And at one moment, I was just like in my underwear, surrounded by a bunch of people. That was just absolutely insane.
My earliest memory of soccer was growing up in Birmingham, Alabama. My dad actually played college football, and I go up to him when I was 5 years old, and I was like, "Dad, I want to play soccer." And he was like, "Excuse me, what?" And so he took out whatever you could find Soccer for Dummies books, and he looked it up, and he put on his Georgia visor, and he had his Georgia megaphone, and he was yelling at me. There weren't a lot of opportunities for girls to play with girls when I was growing up in Alabama, and so I had to try out for a boys team in the 3rd grade, and that's when I really started to find the love of the game and to see that that I was pretty good at it. And I was playing on the Olympic Development Program, ODP, in Alabama, and I made the regional team, and Bill Palladino, who was the assistant coach of North Carolina at the time, and he saw me. I made the regional team, then I made the U16 national team, U18 national team, and then finally got my first cap when I was 18 years old for the U.S. national team. Also got to know Anson Dorrance, who was the coach, and because he was the assistant coach on the U16 team when I was playing. And I was just like, I just fell in love with North Carolina on my visit. I knew that's where I wanted to go. And then basically those 4 years at North Carolina changed my life, and was on the national team for the next 10 years, which is pretty incredible. 134 caps, yeah.
Wow, jeez, wow. My earliest memory of the game is sitting with my dad sometime in the 60s, watching Benfica play against Ajax. And the reason for that was that my dad was literally having a heart attack. I mean, not literally, but the way he was behaving, I'm like, my dad was a very proper, kind of the way he went about life was very, always with the tie, always. And that was the one time I saw my dad be emotional. I knew right there and then at 5'6" that I wanted to be a part of this thing like forever. And I was fortunate enough, twice I was there on trial. And my second time was able to get into Benfica's academy. It was big time. I mean, if you made Benfica or Sporting, you walked around your neighborhood like you were a pro, like you made it, and you got treated that way. Like this guy, they call it a crack. This guy's the crack. He's the superstar coming out of that whatever neighborhood type of thing, And so it was always a big deal, and I was very proud, but that lasted about 3 months. I literally never even got to put on a Benfica jersey, got on the roster, got in. I trained with the team for about a week, and then I think after that came the pleasant surprise that we were moving to the States. So, that was it, And then that was obviously a different experience because soccer kind of went out the window for a couple of years, so I got kind of back in the game. But
what's your earliest memory of soccer?
Oh gosh, there are so many that I could pick from. I was born, my dad was working for DC United, so I've been around the game my entire life. I remember moving to Colorado for the Colorado Rapids, moved to LA for LA Galaxy, then finally we moved to Dallas for FC Dallas. I mean, I've always remembered just following him around on game days. I was absolutely obsessed with everything he was doing. I just had to be in the middle of it all. I was lucky I got to shadow him. He may have been maybe a little annoyed, but he still has me shadowing him today, and sometimes it's vice versa.
So I've been doing my research on Atlanta, and a couple people have said
You talk to Iggy. You got to talk to Iggy. Why? Why does the name keep coming up?
I don't know. I don't know. I've been in Atlanta. I built a family, a home. Atlanta is home for me. No, it was funny. I always tell my friends, me coming to America was so different than the Eddie Murphy's movie. I came here where my parents are like, enough of soccer, you go into America. It was pretty much a punishment. And they wanted me to go to school. I wanted to play soccer. And it's funny because I got here 93. The MLS came, and I think he really took the country by storm.
For as much talent is coming out of Atlanta, as many elite youth clubs and top-level coaches, the math doesn't lie. Only the tiniest percentage of players will go pro. Professional footy makes up a small sliver of the country's soccer culture. So, after a childhood and adolescence of playing the game, maybe a few years at a college like Emory, then what? The upward trend of more organized adult teams is one I've been intrigued by all over the country. And in Atlanta, the one setting the standard are Peachtree FC.
We're at the Peachtree Derby. This is the first and the second team playing each other here in the local Atlanta League. I forget what it's called. But these guys are being an adult league team. And today's a momentous occasion as the first and second team are playing each other. They got the live stream and they got the commentator. Love it. Great to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, John.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming out.
How much time we got left?
Like 25 or so.
Okay. All right. Cool.
That just made it 2-1. So.
Okay. 2-1 for the first team.
Yeah.
All right. So first team in green.
Yeah.
Second team in.
Yep.
In the peach. Cool. Got a couple fans. Got the tent here. Oh, the weather. Ball is all over the pitch right now. It is a mess, even with it being turf. We got a photographer. And I think the reason I'm excited to be here today, I mean, many reasons, but one big one is that, these guys are relatively new. They just started a couple years ago as a five-a-side team, and they've grown this into now having two full 11. Oh, what a save. Oh, wow, what a save. Now they've got, 30, 40 guys on their player pool and roster playing in the local Atlanta adult leagues and also trying to move up to and trying to play at higher amateur level. So in a relatively short period of time, John, who started the team, he's from the UK originally, so he's inspired by this kind of non-league football and pyramid and really trying to build something through professionalism, through great social media content, through kits, just some of the things that organization-wise, a lot of men's league teams aren't able to provide. Oh, pen, wow.
It was a 10, but it's a soft pen.
It's a penalty. I just thought it was gonna be soft.
Moment
right
here.
Look.
Big moment
I believe
here.
in my keeper.
Yeah. Oh, he's tapping the crossbar.
Exactly. Mind games. It's the mind games. Come on.
Exactly.
Bottom left.
All right, let's see this. Bottom left. All right, let's see. Very pen. 3-1.
Let's go, Peach!
I mean, that was as bottom left as it gets. He buried that, so. What's your name?
Santi.
Santi, good to meet you, man. Andrew.
I like the way they were, very organized, about improving and everything like that. So that made me stay with the team.
Yep.
It was like 3 years ago, so I've been with them for that while. But
okay, cool.
I gotta look at the camera.
No, you can look at me. It's all good. We keep it casual. Yeah.
We've been building this club for a while now, and then to have two teams to actually play against each other at this level, we're making a lot of strides.
100%. Man.
So we started playing a pickup soccer, 5v5, and we're like, you know what? We have enough people. Let's do a sevens.
Yeah.
Just people like playing it with us. Kept growing. We have about 66 guys on the roster now.
That's awesome.
It's huge, and we're having fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. What do you think it is that has kind of like attracted people to be a part of what you guys are doing with Peachtree?
Our culture, man. Our community. We have a very community soccer community here that we've created.
Yeah.
And then we, if you want to play, if you want to come play, if you want to join us, we'll welcome anyone from all parts of lives, and that's what people like from us.
Well, all right, nice to meet you. Also, we're here with the Ultra section, Peachtree Ultras. Very rowdy. There's quite a police presence just outside the stadium to keep them in check. But what brings you out here on a rainy, kind of damp morning? What's it all about?
Being here for my husband, number 47. It's just, he's from Brazil, his family isn't here, and just me being here supporting him, I think, is really my motivation. Even sun, rain, cold, hot, I'll always be out here for him.
Awesome.
My husband's the coach for Peachtree too, so I get all the Peachtree tea, and I come here to really, put the face to the names.
But seriously, this is an amazing community. They've been doing this for only like a couple, 2-3 years, and they've done super well in their leagues, and I don't think that's a coincidence. They're always strategizing and always like welcoming everyone in the team. You'll notice like it's a super diverse team, and the fact that, I think the fact that we're out, it just is a testament to the community.
The team didn't have a good dynamic. I feel we wouldn't be wasting our time sitting here.
Yeah.
Like part of it is the bigger community, and then taking on like maybe a little bit of like a personal coaching role. Like kind of keep the younger kids in line, make sure that they're on the good track.
But it's cool to have like the next wave, right, or the next generation of guys coming through, and that's how you start to build more of that club identity as well. It's not just the first guys that handed that on. So really cool. They even got the customized corner flags. Get in. Look at this. That's lovely. Attention to detail. It's fun. Some of us have a little bit of a disposable income and want to do something that they love and bring people together around it. So why not get customized corner flags? I think the second team is tiring a bit and the first team is just building, but it was much more even. But something happened here right around the time I got here, so I think I'm a bad omen for the second team. Real team building.
It's funny. It's those just like silly little things that make it more professional. I don't know if either the captains wore it, but like our captains' armbands have like the Peachtree logo on it. Cool. Like just those little things, because I feel like it makes a difference. A lot of the teams in our league are, there's not much differentiation between them. And so what can we do so that, besides like performing well on the pitch, so when someone's making a decision, if it's like, oh, like these two teams who are the same level, I'm gonna pick ours. And something that you guys are kind of building something to rally around too. The roots and the grassroots, doing all your own heavy lifting and everything. Who's got laundry duty this week?
John.
Every week. Always.
That's one of the perks.
Oh gee, come on, man. It's up. Yep. 2017, I started with 3 and grew it to now I got 30. We have a program we do with elders and those who are veterans, where we go and take them for free. We take them on the belt line and ride them around so that they can see what's happening, what they help to build at some capacity throughout their life.
So how do you see it kind of tying in with the World Cup?
Atlanta isn't prepared, in my humble opinion, for what's about to happen. So we get a chance to, of course, we can navigate in and out of traffic. Again, we can take up to 5 people. So that it'll be an alternative. So for us, we're already marketing on ways to get people from point A to point B and then the last mile, Then we can get you that last way in peace, most importantly, safe, and in an eco-friendly way, where we're not, reducing the carbon footprint.
Cool. What do you think? You think we can get a little ride? Give me a little test? What do you think? Let's do it. I feel a little bit like I'm a little horse and buggy or something.
Yeah, man. So this is your first time in Atlanta or no?
Yeah, first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we've been meeting with people all over the city, all different levels of soccer, and just trying to really tell the story of the soccer community here, and what do you guys have to offer the world next year with the World Cup coming in and being in a global spotlight.
It's a big deal. It's a big to-do, it's a big deal. Yeah. But again, Atlanta ain't ready. But the soccer fans will still turn up, right? 100%. Soccer is, in the US, period, is maybe 20% awareness.
Exactly, yeah, we're seeing that. I think that'll be changing, but like you said, then the people that are gonna come here and I think really gonna put things on the map, because it's gonna be way bigger than any Atlanta United, even in terms of like the footprint.
So will you be doing something in all of the cities? Do you plan to screen it? What's your vision?
Man, that's a great point. I'm just trying to really get everything out like before the tournament, and I'll be putting things out kind of in stages, like city by city.
Don't do it. This ain't your turn. Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I have some contacts. So, like I said, I got teams in those places.
Not only will you find Jay peddling footy fans around Atlanta, but he plans to spread his graffiti stadium project to multiple host cities, combining art and soccer to expand access to the many Atlantans who will be priced out of any official World Cup events. Lack of affordability, plus travel challenges and political uncertainty have all been themes as we prepare for the world's foremost cultural and sporting event. As the dispiriting headlines mount, Jay's vision of an organic, grassroots, community-led, build-your-own event is something I find more and more intriguing. The game is what we make it. It's who we play with, and it can be what we intend it to be.
What's your hope for the legacy of the World Cup and the impact it can have on soccer culture here in Atlanta and in the States?
It's a really good question, and I think it's something that maybe isn't getting talked about enough with what a World Cup can be. I think if we have more intent about what the legacy of this tournament can be, it can be even bigger. I hope it provides more access to the game for everybody and puts the game in some different places. And my hope, and it's something that we really try to do through Soccer Down Here and through everything that I do, is to try to connect those dots and make it to where we can all grow and be connected together.
Well, frankly, my hope is that this is people have said for years that, this country's not ready for promotion, relegation, soccer's not there yet in the United States. I think it is there in the United States, and hopefully this is the moment and we begin to be taken seriously as a serious soccer country, footballing nation.
Everyone loves the game, and it's just bringing everyone together, and that's what the World Cup's going to do. Maybe they don't want to go to a World Cup game or they can't afford to. They can go to their local community clubs.
And I think you're also going to see huge investment just in terms of across the country for new markets that are coming in at these lower divisions. The excitement by USL and all the recent announcements about potential pro rel in 27. I think it changes everything for soccer and the structure of it.
It's all money based here, and that's unfortunate. So I think slowly but surely people recognize it's not about the money, and soccer will keep growing.
My hope is to see the U.S. men's soccer team have an amazing World Cup that really excites people, kind of step the game up in the United States to a newer and higher level that we haven't seen yet.
But it should be big for US soccer. I think there's so many different people here. It should be a massive event. Hope it goes off okay. Hope the venues are not too hot, and I hope Ireland win it.
Yeah, we as women want to dominate the world stage. I mean, that's just all the women in the United States who've ever played soccer own that. Yes, change the mentality. Expect something more than just, let's get further.
This World Cup, it's going to be hard because there's going to be a lot of pressure on the men. There's going to be young people saying, hey, I could be there one day. And they're going to see the, passion in the world, just like the 94 World Cup, how it, helped that. And the 99 World Cup helped the women. I hope it makes us kind of a global powerhouse that everybody's afraid of both teams. I would love to see that soccer becomes not just kind of an afterthought when it comes to professional leagues sometimes. I want like MLS to grow, and I want NWSL to keep growing. I think it'll do it, and I'm excited to see it.
I think a lot more kids is gonna get into the soccer when they see the passion of the people, when they see all those big stars arriving into our fields.
America has already adopted soccer, so I don't think it's gonna make a big change. It's just, oh yeah, we're getting the World Cup because we're a soccer nation.
But I see a lot of opportunity for this community to kind of show that, hey, there's been a thriving soccer community here for a long time, and some people probably didn't realize it.
With just the game in general in the U.S., I think it's going to open up so many doors, not only for players like myself, but just opportunities for the game.
We don't know what after 26 is holding for us, but all that we know is that we're a part of it and a small piece of it here in Atlanta, and we're excited about it.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Whether it's in Atlanta or in Chattanooga or in Dalton, all over the Southeast and all over America, soccer is making inroads and proving that the southeast of the United States does have a true and authentic soccer culture. Soccer is relevant. No matter the size of the community, we can find it in some shape or form. Its ability to include, to bring people together, to rally someone around an identity that the game is really just a vehicle for. I think that is one of the reasons that soccer is such an exciting phase in the United States and North America right now. One thing that we need to look forward to going forward next year into the World Cup. And when we think about legacy of what this social and cultural event can be, taking things to the next generation, letting them pick up the torch and carry the way. So thank you guys for being here on this episode of the Road Trip to the World Cup. We're going to be in New England. We've been in Philadelphia, in Miami. We're going to do through the Midwest, through Dallas, Houston, Texas, Kansas City, all over the West Coast. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what I missed, what I need to see next time. Please contribute and be engaged. And make sure if you coming through next year for the World Cup, not only for the food, for the music, for the culture, but for the soccer, for the footy, for the football, be in Atlanta. You're going to experience it. See you on the next episode. Peace.